Ladies and gentlemen, it's like 11 p.m. It's 10:58 right now. I spent all day. I've been making this document, and what I want to do is just share a little bit from the document, totally for free, about how to pick a niche as a fitness coach. Okay, right now in today's fitness market, there's a lot of noise. When I say noise, that means that there's a lot of players in the game. Okay, these players are doing many different things. They're saying to do this, do this, do this. And when you actually look at who's winning in the fitness industry, 10% of the market owns 90% of the market share. 10%. Okay? Fitness market is highly, highly saturated and highly, highly competitive. Okay? So if you actually want to win in today's fitness market, you're going to need a niche. I'm going to share with you later on, I'm going to run you through everything you're going to need on actually how to niche, the secrets of niching, what my clients are doing that your client, or what you're not doing, what my clients are doing, what I did myself, that's going to be able to allow you to scale to 30, 40, 50K a month pretty effortlessly, rather than trying to have to sell your way there, sending all these fucking cold DMs, posting all day on this slavery flywheel. Okay? Doing this, playing this battle, which can easily be won by understanding how to pick markets correctly, which I'm going to talk about today. Okay? So, number one, what is a niche? So I'm sure you guys know what niches are, but for those of you that don't know what niches are, a niche is an ultra specific group of people in a specific circumstance with a specific problem. Okay? So what a niche is, it's used to identify people and to answer a few questions. Okay? So number one, who's your customer? What's their current and desired state? What are their problems, like preventing them from getting to that desire? How much money do they have available? Okay, so these are some general questions that I'd like to go through in order to pick a niche. So a niche could be like specifically fitness related. A niche could be literally any specific sort of person who has a specific current and desired state, who has problems, obviously going to that desired state, and obviously have some money, because we want to make money at the end of the day. We're a business. Okay? So, like for example, I know people who are doing dads, people who are doing moms, people who are doing moms with menopause, people who are doing, any sort of specific niche. Okay. Now, there's a lot of people out there who are just like not really niching, and they're just like, oh, this person's doing this person's doing this. I don't need a niche. Okay. So let me tell you why you kind of need a niche. So many fitness coaches, when they first start working with me, are literally targeting anyone. Okay, so they're just a fitness coach that will literally help anyone with anything. This is a quick way to never make more than 10K a month. Okay, even less, like 5K a month. Okay, they're helping anyone with anything. You may say, oh, there's several people making millions a year helping anyone with fitness. If you look at like Simeon Panda, you look at all these massive fitness influencers. Oh, they're making so much money with fitness. Yes, they are. I'm not going to deny that. But here's my experience. In order to take over the world, you have to start with a village, then a city, then a region, then a country, then a continent, then the world. Okay? So there's a process. You start small and you work big. Okay? And these people have a massive percentage of today's market. They have a very big percentage of the market, but they didn't start like that. Okay? And they started small and worked outward. Okay, so there are steps that need to be taken in order to win. You cannot try to take over the world without first taking over a village. So you have to start small and work outwards. Okay, this is actually a Sun Tzu quote. If you don't know who Sun Tzu is, Sun Tzu wrote The Art of War, and he was like a Chinese warlord from like, I don't know, the some sort of dynasty back a long time ago. But this was his strategy. If you want to take over a large portion of land, you have to start small rather than just trying to take over the entire thing at once. That makes sense. Okay. So what are the benefits of actually starting with a niche? So zero competition equals profits. We all know this. So competition is not a good thing. If you go up to a girl and that girl has 300 other options, your likelihood of you getting that girl is low. Why? Is that because you're a bad looking guy? Is that because she's a bad person? No, it's just because there's so many other competitors competing for that same market share. Okay? So one of the points made by Peter Thiel in his book 0 to 1, it's a pretty interesting read, was that profits are a function of X, Y, where X is the value added to the market and Y is the percentage of the market captured. By looking deeper into this, we determine that profit is maximized by being a monopoly within your market, the best or only option available to that market. When market share of a competitor pretty much is or approaching zero. Okay? So you win when you add value to the market and you capture that value. Okay? So we can also determine that profit reaches a maximum when the product/service efficiency approaches 100, meaning profit are realized if you can capture 100% of the value created. So when you can capture a massive amount of profit and you have built an efficient system that pretty much the definition of a high profiting business is a high efficiency business. Okay? So if you have these in check, number one, you are adding value to the market and you're actually capturing that value. Okay. What happens over time, and you slowly start to become the best or only option, market share of the competitors go to zero. So this is more math. And then your efficiency increases, aka profits. So when the value created approaches infinity, profit approaches infinity. So the more value, in other words, the more value you add to the market, the more value you get back. So when you're creating your solution, you want to become the best or only option in the market. That is your only objective. That's your only goal. If you're going into the fitness niche and you're like, oh, I want to be a fitness coach and just make $20K a month and then that's it, you can do that. But your job, for example, I heard this Iman Gadzhi quote, and he was talking about how he just woke up one day and he had all these scars. He didn't really realize it. His head was buried in the sand. He was grinding, and then popped his head up. Wow, I'm so successful now. And that's what happens, okay? So you have to pick a goal that's much higher than actually what you're wanting to hit, okay? And that goal, if you're not willing to go all the way with this and actually take this to the point where you're making a lot of money and you're providing a lot of value to the market, then maybe entrepreneurship isn't something that you should do, okay? If it is, let's keep going here. So the energy needed to input into the market to become the best and only option, aka that value to pretty much capture the market and become the best option, is quite high when you're targeting a large market. If you are targeting a small niche, that's very achievable. So let's say I'm targeting fitness in general. Anyone who wants to get in shape, anyone who wants any sort of fitness help with losing weight, gaining muscle, whatever. Okay, I'm helping anyone with anything. There's a lot of energy input that's needed to actually make that happen. And there's a lot of energy input to actually work with those clients, do specific systems for different clients, have all these things and complex systems going all at once. It's super complex. Okay. And there's a lot of energy needed. So what our goal is to run our system with the least amount of energy, aka have the most efficiency from input to output ratio. Okay. So getting your first 1,000 customers requires that you get your first 10 customers, then 100, then 500. It's much easier to get your first 10 if you're focused on one niche with zero competition than focusing on multiple niches or an undefined niche. Okay. So for example, a lot of people will choose, massive niche, fitness, which has like, let's say 500 sub niches. Okay. Rather than focusing on one small niche. Like I said, the quote up here of in order to win take over the world, you're going to have to take over a village first. Okay. And what that is it's much easier with energy and efficiency to take over a small niche first and then expand. Okay. So how this looks over time is once you're building up to, let's say 1,000 customers, you're going to start with one niche, validate your process with that, and then move to other sub niches that can easily be value added in. Okay. So for example, one of my clients is helping like middle-aged women with weight loss. Scaled it up, got his process going a little bit. And then now he's working with a lot of middle-aged dads as well. That's a niche that's like very close to the same vertical, and not much needs to be changed about the mechanism, the process, the price, etc. It's the same thing, just a very small difference per se. Okay? And this is a big point as well. Competitors understand that if they're going to compete with you, they want a chance of winning. So the likelihood of them winning is low if they're competing with someone whose sole purpose is to serve a hyper-specific niche, while the competitors are broad in their targeting. So like if you're competing with Beachbody, who doesn't target anyone, Beachbody is like a massive software that has like millions of fitness programs, doesn't target anyone. Beachbody is not going to compete with you, who is literally in terms of targeting, let's say helping specifically moms with menopause. They're not going to change their entire business model just to go and do that. So now you have created less competition, and now you are more on track to dominating that said market. Okay. So, for example, what most people do is something I call everyone targeting. Okay. And this is very common. And let me know, once I go through this, let me know if this is something that kind of relates with you. So when we try to dominate the largest circle, which is just general fitness, we're literally playing a game of darts. So think about it like this. When you're helping everyone, you'll get random people from various niches. You'll get a male bodybuilder who wants to put on muscle. You'll get a mom who wants to relieve hip pain. You'll get a dad who wants to get rid of the beer belly. You'll get a kid who wants to increase testosterone. I'm just saying random stuff, okay? What happens, and I'm sure you're aware of this, let's say you're already a fitness coach, you have a few clients, what you'll find is you'll have random people in many different niches who want different problems solved, okay? And pretty much if you imagine the market as this big pie, you're playing a game of darts. You have a client here, and they're just in different segments of the market, okay? So when you do something like this, the disadvantages of doing something like this are number one, like I said before, it's inefficient. It's going to lead to less profit. You have more competition. Okay. You're going to capture less of the market. But most importantly, just to go through this, number one, you're going to have a harder time getting clients. This is a big one. When you're calling out a specific person, that specific person will respond. Okay. So, hey, let's say you're at a train station and you say, hey, people, listen up. People are going to be like, who's this crazy guy, and walk by. Okay. Same train station, but you say, hey, John, there's 3 guys in the train station that happen to be named John. They're going to be like, oh, you called my name? They're going to be intrigued. Okay. So when you're calling out a specific person, that specific person will respond. Number 2, you'll have to charge less. Non-specialists have to charge less for the same or equivalent service. Okay. Look at surgeons, for example. General practitioners will make 10 times less than somebody who's like a specific cardiovascular heart surgeon. Okay. So you'll have to charge less. Number 3, you'll be viewed as a commodity because you'll help everyone in the market. People will view you as disposable and replaceable. People don't want to get rid of the specialists. People love the specialists. They're like in society's eyes and people's eyes and in just the eyes of everyone. Specialists are like these golden people that need to be like, held in the arms of like, I don't even know, but I hope this makes sense, okay? Because if you're a specialist, society will value you because you're helping a very specific problem that not many other people can help, aka less competition, okay? Number 4, your clients won't get good results. Your clients will have a low emotional investment due to low price and lack of specialty, and therefore will not take the process 100% serious. Think about an online program like Beachbody on demand. The success rate on programs like that are less than 2%. So like 100 people go in, 2 people will actually get results. Beachbody on demand is cheap and targets everyone. Okay, so think about it. You're let's say a random person. Let's say you're a mom, and you see an ad for somebody who helps moms. You're gonna think, oh my God, this person is helping me with my specific problem, and look at all the other case studies he has of him helping all these moms. Oh my God, I want to do this. Okay. That is more valuable. I'm willing as a mom to pay more for that than something like Beachbody where I'm going in and there's like a million people doing a million different things and it's not really specific. Okay. Number 5, you'll have to create new systems and processes for each new client type and goal. This is a big one. So this is where it actually comes to efficiency and profits, which obviously is the goal of business. If someone wants to lose weight for a bodybuilding show, they'll have to have a different protocol than someone who wants to gain 100 pounds because they're anorexic. This takes time to create. So when you're targeting everyone, when you have this massive pie with so many different people, you have a mom, dad, kid, all these people with different goals, you can't make one system and use that one system with each person because they have different goals and there's going to be a new mechanism to help with each of those goals. Okay. So you're going to have to create new systems, which is going to take a lot of time, which you don't have. Okay. What's the point of adding this complexity? And then number 6, you're not going to be able to validate your systems. You'll have so many clients each doing different things that you won't be able to validate one process. The only way to validate your systems are with data. You get data by working with clients. But if each client is different, Your data is spread very thin. You want to dig deep with data, not dig out. I would rather get super specific on knowing everything about mothers and what mothers want with weight loss, with health, with fitness, rather than trying to figure out the fitness niche in general. Okay? And then number 7, you're going to begin to doubt yourself and lose confidence because you have so many people each doing different things. They're not treating you. They're churning, low profits, so many things going on, complexity. You're going to start to doubt yourself and actually lose confidence. Okay? So this is actually what happens to online trainers when they're helping everyone. They just become a commodity. Okay? The only way to escape this rat race is to be precise on the who in terms of niching. So when you actually pick a specific niche, this is what happens. You choose a specific problem, a specific person, and you make it extremely narrow. People will automatically view you as an expert because you're so precise. You pair this with case studies. Oh, people are like they're going to just throw you their credit card. Okay. Number 3, you'll have an easier time getting clients. You're calling on a specific person rather than 35 different people. Okay. Like the example I gave before at a bus stop, you call hey people, everyone's just going to be like, who's this crazy guy? But you say hey John, the man named John will be like, oh my God, why did you call my name? Okay. So you're going to have an easier time getting clients because you're calling on a specific person. It's going to be easier to target. Okay. Number 4, you're going to be able to charge more. You're now a specialist. You're charging a specific niche problem. You can charge more for that. There's more value in that. Less people are doing it, aka the supply is low. The demand is going to be higher. Does that make sense? You can put together a multi-4-figure package and sell them easily. You will have better client results. People will be more invested because they no longer view as a commodity. They will be more invested in the process and will do everything to completion because the price is higher, etc. And it's more niche. You'll quickly be able to figure out, this is a very important part, an exact system that you can build once for your one sort of client, your one specific client, your one niche, your one person, and continually refine that one system. This system will quickly be the best in the space because you have refined it so much with one person. So if I'm a spine surgeon and I do 10,000 spine surgeries, I'll have a better system to do that one process rather than doing hundreds of different procedures. So what we're doing is we're picking a problem, aka helping people, for example, if we're a spine surgeon, helping with spine surgeries, and we're doing one spine surgery 10,000 times rather than a million other surgeries a million other times. So you'll have a better system with that one process rather than doing hundreds of different procedures. And then number 7, you're going to be able to leverage your higher profits, your more money, your client results to scale your company process. Everything's going to be better as a whole now. Okay? So do you see how having a niche is super duper important? Okay? So overall, looking at this as from a process as well, I'm just throwing some other variables in here. If you look at your mechanism, for example, so actually the process that gets the results. So let's say your mechanism is like, let's say your mechanism is weight loss, and to do that, you do some sort of like one-on-one in-person coaching. Okay? That's your mechanism. And when it comes to niching, your mechanism actually gets more efficient. Okay? Because by only focusing on one person and one transformation, engineering efforts are more likely to create a niche-specific mechanism that delivers the transformation better than competitors. Like I said above here, you're going to be able to create one thing that's going to improve the mechanism as well. Okay? Ways to improve efficiency within the mechanism are found leading to higher efficiency and higher margins. You're going to understand how to run the system better. This can only be achieved with an airtight mechanism, market and resonance. With the best niche-specific case studies, your marketing message will achieve higher resonance. Like I said, calling people out, higher converting sales process. Let's say you're running an ad campaign, for example, and with that ad campaign, you're only doing one specific niche. You're going to understand how to run that ad process, that ad campaign for that one niche better because you're calling on that specific person, and you're going to understand the pain points, etc., for that one person because you've learned so much about them. You've had so many conversations. And even just think about the sales calls, for example. If I get on 500 calls with one type of niche, let's say moms who are going through menopause. If I get on 500 calls with moms who are going through menopause, I'm going to know, for example, their pain points better. I'm going to know their common language. Okay. I'm going to know certain tonalities to use that are going to resonate with them more. I'm just going to know more about them. And because I know more about them, because I have more data about them, it's going to be easier for me to resonate with them and actually get them to give me their credit card and join my program. Just from a sales perspective, getting on a sales call with them. Me, for example, I help gyms as well. And that's actually kind of one of the niches I started in. And specifically with gyms, for example, when I first started, I knew nothing about, like, I had a little bit of idea about gyms and whatnot, but compare myself then to now, right now I know like so much lingo, just speaking from lingo and actually how to talk with these people. Gym owners are very straight up. They're not like, oh, do pain point questions with me and I'll tell you about my life and, oh, why do you really want this? They're more like, tell me what the offer is. What is it going to do for me? How is it going to help me? Tell me the fucking price. Okay. And I realized this, and this took me a while to realize this is something that happens when I talk to one person. Let's say I was talking to gyms, but then I had like 4 other niches I was helping. I'm screwed. Okay. And then effective targeting. So when you're focused on a specific vertical, problem, age group, role, targeting becomes accurate. So even just from like a perspective of on an ads level, when you go in the ads manager and you're running ads for a specific person, or just from an ads level, like you're going to be able to go in and pick moms and pick your specific niche. So the algorithm shows that message to that one person. Okay. So conclusions, not all niche, price, mechanism, etc. will result in massive profits. Like not all niches are just like you pick a niche and it's like a specific problem with a niche. It's not just going to lead to you making like a ton of money. Okay. Your goal is to pick a niche and obviously find what they want, the price they're willing to pay, the mechanism to solve the problem, and then how to actually get that message in front of them. And you're going to want to isolate each one of these variables. That's kind of what I went through in the rest of this, but this is just mostly about niching. And just to make this point 100% clear, when you are niching, when you are going through this process of niching, when you are going through and actually like creating your niche and testing this niche, having conversations here, you're going to want to make sure that you're organized in regards to tracking. This is the biggest mistake people will make. Okay? Because even me personally, when I started, I was talking to so many different people within gyms, and I was really bad at tracking. I didn't track conversations. I didn't track certain things that like were attractive to them. I was just like, oh, that's interesting, but I didn't really make a note of it. Okay, I didn't track things that were like really not interesting, and that costed me a lot of time. What if I went back in time and I tracked all those things down to a T? I would have known and gotten product market fit a lot quicker and known exactly what that niche was looking for, how they were looking for it, etc., the price they were willing to pay, etc. So when you're picking your niche, when you're actually going through this process as a fitness coach, as someone in fitness, you have to realize that, okay, you need to pick a niche, but you're going to have to track. Okay, that's tracking the data you're getting. That's conversations. That's what they're saying. That's what they're not saying. That's why they're not saying it. You're going to want to track all of this stuff to make sure you understand, okay, why isn't this resonating with this niche? Why is this resonating with this niche? Okay, so that you can understand, okay, maybe we should shift more this way or that way. So this is a little bit of a quick video. Just wanted to talk about niche, why you need a niche, how to actually go about it. A lot of people will just be super lackadaisical with like, oh, I don't need a niche. I'm just going to post fitness content and people are going to come to me. My brother in Christ, you are lost. Pick a niche, dominate the niche, move to the next niche, dominate that niche. And then you're going to have, like I said here, a lot of value added to the market and a lot of market captured. And the only way to do that is start small, move big. Thank you for watching. I hope you got value from this.